Welcome to my channel, Trailbound Faith. My name is Faith, and in today's video I'm going to be going over the MSR Freelite 2 and working in a little bit about my Lanshan 2 as well. MSR it's Mountain Safety Research, but everybody just knows it as MSR. The Freelite 2-person tent. There are some pros and cons. I like this tent. Sometimes I love this tent. When it's raining, I don't like this tent. But I will have it on the outside of my pack. It doesn't weigh anything. If for some reason it's downpouring or whatever, which is probably going to happen a lot, I will have the rain fly in here on the outside of my pack, and then I'll have the inner stuffed in the top inside my pack. And I just got the MSR. Okay. The MSR Freelite 2. It's the 2-person, 2-pound tent. The Hubba Hubba NX Freelite 2. It says Thru-hike mesh house, but it is the 2-person footprint from MSR. I ordered them on Amazon, and I'm gonna try it out here. Just local campground, wanting to try it out. So I love my Lanshan 2. I thought I would try the MSR tent because it was kind of in my budget, so it's about three times the price of the Lanshan. But I'm hoping that it's a lot easier to set up. And then you run the risk of, if your trekking pole breaks, or you misplace your trekking pole, or leave it at the last stop and you don't realize it until it's too late and you don't want to go back to go get it. I mean, whatever, like you're dealing with trekking poles. The downside of the MSR tent, you're also kind of dealing with, you have poles to set up every time, and if one of those breaks, you're kind of screwed. Whereas with the Lanshan, if you don't have a trekking pole, you can get by with the right size stick, or even tying it off in between two trees like you would a hammock setup. So there are pros and cons to both. So I've talked enough about the two tents and the differences between the two tents that I know of. Let's get to setting it up. "23 minutes, 19 seconds. That is without watching any videos or reading the directions. You know, I had to adjust a little bit, you know, loosen one of the tensioners on the left side and tighten it on the right side, and it just kind of lined it up right. So, just like with the Lanshan, there's some adjustment. I'm not so sure it's going to save me much time, even after practicing for 6 months. I kind of like it. Is the vestibules. So they don't give you as much space where your head is. So in the Lanshan, you know, your vestibule, here's your trekking pole, and so here's your inner and your door, and then your vestibule kind of comes out really far like this. So you have a lot of space, but a lot of headroom space. Where I feel like here, you do lose some vestibule space, and it starts down a little bit lower. So it's not, you know, up here like in the Lanshan. It's more like this in the MSR. Okay, so here is my first attempt at setting up the MSR. And I'm already seeing something wrong that I'm going to have to adjust. So over here we're all nice and taut here on this vestibule on the rainfly. And then get over here and you see this, like, all these ripples and this strange dip here. See if I can get a better angle. See that? That's not cool. So that's in the right place. I can see the pole. It's pretty much right along this ridge line here. I need my husband to help me with the physics. He always helps me with the physics of everything. I'm gonna tighten that a little bit. It's nice and tight now. Let's see what that did. Okay. So it did pull it out a little bit. They're looking pretty good. Now, there are some guy outs and a couple extra stakes for each end here. So I'm going to see if tightening those up on the other side helped on this side, and it did. Still looks like there could be a little bit right there, but hey, I think I'm happy with it. If I'm going to pull it any tighter, I would need to loosen it somewhere else. These doors are supposed to be one-handed zippers, but they can also vent from the top here, which is kind of cool. But you'd want to make sure you tuck that in really well so that when it is raining and rain's coming down here, it's not going to get on that zipper and then drip in. But let's open that up. So I'm trying to point out the vestibule. In the Lanshan, I can sit in my vestibule with one door open and one door closed, and I can actually be like under it. That's not happening with this. So basically, you have to think of your vestibules as just like an outdoor gear closet. The small one. So let's see. Okay, so I have everything set up. I did set it up backwards, so pay attention to this section when you're setting up. And I would probably put this on the head end instead of on the foot end, depending on how you sleep. But we're gonna try it this way. So my head's gonna be down there by the screen. It's summer, so it'll be fine. Like I said, normally I can fit my pack in this vestibule on the Lanshan. This one, I don't think so. I'm not so sure I'd be able to put my pack there unless it was like leaning up against the tent. I don't think it would fit there even with all my stuff here. But when you're by yourself, which I'm through hiking by myself, I tend to keep my pack inside my tent. Anyway, I have my 25-inch pad in here, all set up. I have plenty of space here for like all my gear and things that I want to have like close to me. And if you can see, I don't have to have it set up this way. I could definitely put it just all the way long ways, but I like to kind of set mine up in a diagonal, especially since I'm on a little bit of a slope here. And then I can put my pack on this side where I can easily get to it without having to get in the tent. Go away, ant. Okay. I want to get this close because I don't want the bugs in there. But there's plenty of space in here. Just like in the Land Shan, there's plenty of space on the inside of the tent when you're by yourself. Like, there's no question. Now, I do feel like this is a little bit longer. I think that there might be a little bit more space in here for 2 people than the Land Shan. But again, the vestibules are a little bit smaller. So, all in all, I'll figure out how tonight goes. But all in all, so far, I'm really happy with it. I would like to get a lot better and a lot faster on the setup. I'm trying to show you the angles here. There's a lot less room here on this than the Land Shan. But overall, I'm liking it. And that is it.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching my video where I go over the MSR Freelite 2, which is the tent that I plan on taking on my Appalachian Trail Thru-hike starting in April of 2024. A couple of things that I want to mention. I have set this up on a few trips since my setup video, and it does get easier, and I'm pretty quick now about setting it up. As far as being faster than the Land Shan, I think for me it's faster just because it's just easier for me. Somebody else might pop that trekking pole tent up in lightning speed. However, I am about like between 5 and 7 minutes on the MSR, and that's fine for me. Okay, so con, the inner is separate from the outer, and so if it's raining, the inner is gonna get wet while you're setting it up before you can get the outer put on. There is a hack to that. There's a YouTube hack to that on someone else's MSR Freelite gear review video, so go check that out because it's something that I plan on trying to do too. And you get it set up and you tie some strings off and put loops on the strings, and then you can set the poles up into those loops, attach your rain fly, and then attach your inner underneath. So that's something I do want to try, and when I do, I'll probably try to video that. Another con, the water does rain into your tent, onto the floor of your tent, and anything that's right there by the door when you open your rain fly to get out. So have anything that's close to the door moved away from the door, and something to mop up the rainwater, and then just be ready to get out quickly. Same thing when you're getting back in. There is an idea that I have about putting a zipper down the middle, just to have a backup zipper. So if I do that, I will definitely make a video on that one. MSR, I really do wish that they would create a rainfly with the zipper down the center and have that be an option if you want it. They sell this thing like the zipper right by the door is so amazing, and it's really not. Everything else about this tent is amazing. The zipper right on the door, not so much. So those are my updates on the MSR Freelite 2. So I have decided that this is the tent that I'm gonna take. I am not gonna take the Lanshan. If anything happens to this, then I have the Lanshan as my backup and I'll be fine with it. But that's what I've decided. And it has been, I wanna say maybe 4 or 5 months since my original video where I set this up for you guys. So I've had it out enough to know that that's what I'm gonna take. Again, thank you so much for watching my video. Stay tuned for some more updates and some videos from the last year of my Thru-hike training that I'm gonna be putting out. Thanks for watching Trailbound Faith. You can give me hints, you can give me tips, you can give me tricks. Just be nice. God bless. Like and subscribe.